Former President Donald Trump's comments on illegal immigration are stirring controversy. On the campaign trail, threatening mass deportation and saying some immigrants are, quote, poisoning the blood of the country. Trump is dominating the polls in the 2024 GOP primary. His double-digit leads have some Republicans calling on the party to unify around him to defeat President Biden. CBN's chief political analyst David Brody looks into the strategy.
Normally, a presidential primary is full of high drama. Donald Trump's huge poll numbers, however, has changed that dynamic. Former Trump administration official Mark Lauder sums it up.
This is really the first time in history where we do not have a hypothetical campaign going on.
With Trump seemingly untouchable, it has certain Republicans calling on the RNC, the Republican National Committee, to embrace the former president and focus party resources on a general election matchup against President Biden.
Why are we having any more debates? Donald Trump's going to be the nominee. Why are you not hiring ballot chasers, filing lawsuits in the early states? How does that help us get closer to Joe Biden? The answer, it doesn't.
The message seems to be getting through, as the RNC isn't officially hosting any more debates. As for the candidates, big endorsements of the past may not pack the same punch as they once did. While Ron DeSantis has received backing from leading Iowa evangelical leader Bob Vander Plaats and Governor Kim Reynolds, Trump remains dominant. Nikki Haley received the coveted support of the powerful Koch political network, plus New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu's endorsement just this week. So far, nothing has seemed to weaken Trump's standing among primary voters.
What do you make of how what we normally have seen as kind of big deals aren't as big deals in this cycle?
I actually think it's a trend that's been growing for the last 20 plus years or so. In the day and age of constant information, instant information at the flip of your phone to anything you want to know about every candidate, we don't need third-party endorsers.
That dynamic, combined with the Trump factor, leaves a dwindling GOP field struggling to gain traction.
The fact that there really hasn't been anyone to emerge as someone that could take Donald Trump's support away is striking.
While ABC News political director Rick Klein acknowledges this weakness, he's not yet ready to call the race.
What is the strategy then at this point for these candidates? Is it the implosion strategy? Just hope that he implodes or fumbles the ball at the goal line, in essence, with less than 2 minutes to go?
And you don't really know until the last couple of plays of the game what's going to happen. And if someone surprises in Iowa and or New Hampshire, the first two states to vote, it's a totally different contest.
What's also different is that while Trump hasn't debated at all, his poll numbers keep climbing. Could that change when voting begins?
It's a good 2023 strategy for Donald Trump. But is it a 2024 strategy? When we're in it, and when voters are dialed in truly to the reality of the race 6 weeks from now, does he still not engage?
Whatever happens, Trump's unconventional strategy of not engaging will be one studied for decades to come.
There's going to be generations of politicians that will try to recreate what Donald Trump has done. He has changed the way that campaigns are run. He has changed the rules and the expectations, and everything has worked, to his political benefit so far.
And there's no indication that anything will change in this very unusual 2024 GOP primary election. David Brody, CBN News, Washington.
A lot to watch in this 2024 presidential election, Gordon.
There is a lot to watch, but I boldly predict if the election were today, it would be Trump versus Biden. So, it all seems to be shaping up, and you kind of wonder, okay, what do we do now? Is it going to be 2020 all over again? And if it does, how's this going to stack up? I will make a comment about poisoning the blood. You hear that kind of language and you go, why in the world in 2023 do we still have it? Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, would say things like that. It comes from this concept called eugenics, that you can create some kind of master race. Sanger called it a race of thoroughbreds, and you need to weed out undesirable bloodlines. It has no place in our culture today. It should never happen. This should never be spoken. We need to be one nation, under God, indivisible. And these kinds of statements, all they do is just draw division. we need to know. We really do need to come together. A house divided cannot stand. Well, tomorrow, David Brody sits down with Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley for a one-on-one interview. Be sure to watch it right here on the 700 Club and all of our CBN News platforms.